And welcome to episode number 107 of the Crime Scene Time Machine. I'm your host, Scott Roeder, and I love you. Today, we are going to be talking with John out of Rhode Island, who is the author or the cameraman, is security footage. He's the owner of the footage that is really taking the internet by storm. These plasma orbs that have been caught on his security camera, maybe not plasma orbs, some kind of orbs. We're going to get into it. John, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me here. Just a little bit about you first. Give us a little bit about your background. Whatever you're comfortable sharing.
Yeah, I basically I live in grew up in Western Massachusetts, a little small farm town. I went to Merchant Marine Academy in Buzzards Bay, Massachusetts. I worked for 35 years for General Electric. I'm currently retired. My career was two-part. Half of it was working with the nuclear navy, and the other half was traveling internationally to power plants, basically repairing and testing high voltage generators.
Oh, wow,
And
that's
so
great.
now I'm retired. I'm living in Rhode Island. I'm refurbishing a home there, and I'm presently staying with relatives in Western Massachusetts.
Lovely. So you had mentioned that before that you're an engineer,
Yes, yeah.
and the what kind of engineering was it that you did? Was it mechanical, environmental? What kind of engineering did you do?
No, Mass Maritime is Merchant Marine Academy, so you graduate with a marine engineering license or a marine engineering degree and a Coast Guard license. But
Oh.
basically, it's a mechanical engineering background. After that, hiring into General Electric, I wore many hats. Working with the nuclear navy, we had a long training program for nuclear power uh, and then electrical with the field engineering and generators and stuff like that. So.
Brilliant. Now let's get to the heart of the matter right here. I took a look at the footage that you sent me. I'm absolutely floored by it. I think it is the most clear footage I've ever seen of this close interaction with what I think most people would call an orb. Now, after I evaluated it, I've, come to some conclusions, but before we get involved on what I think it might be, I would like you to explain a couple things. Like, for example, what caused you to start trying to record them? Was this a motion activated recording situation, or what's the origin of the footage that we're discussing?
Well, there's a little bit of background. Part of my time with the Merchant Marine was on a Texaco oil tanker, and that was the first time I saw an orb, and that was in 1981. And I had just got off the midnight to 4 in the morning watch, and I'm out on the bridge wing. The ship is on autopilot, and I'm looking out towards the Atlantic Ocean. We're about 100 miles offshore, and I see an orb come in to the near the ship, maybe 100 yards off, and I'm trying to figure out, what the heck is that?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it just takes off at lightning speed and disappears. And so it was not a helicopter or anything like that. And certainly, you just finished 4 years of engineering school and training, and you're going through all this stuff trying to figure that out. Anyways, that was my first
Yeah,
experience
I
with
mean,
an
you've
orb.
seen helicopters at night over the ocean and all that kind of stuff. Obviously there was no sound with that original orb. Was there a feeling that you got? Because I've actually my partner, friends of mine have had experiences with orbs, and it has caused them to have some emotions or feelings related to it. In that first one, did you have any
No,
feelings for
no,
you? Or was it
not
just a
really. It
sighting?
was
Okay.
right. I just finished, got off watch, and I'm enjoying the fresh air and looking out. It's pitch black. There's, not a light in the sky, and that was like the only thing other than stars. And it was fascinating. And it stuck in my head, and I started to question myself over time.
Hmm.
Was it real? Was it not real? And did you really see it? and stuff like that. But I definitely saw it, and and that kind of planted a seed for me, with some of this stuff. So
Okay, interesting. So, uh, I guess we're going to fast forward all the way to August the 20, is it the 24th or the 28th of the footage?
28th, maybe, I
So,
think,
yeah, I think
last summer.
August the 28th, 2024. The first footage you have is just after midnight, like 12:30. Uh, Tell me about the camera, the Red Link camera. Is that a motion activated IR camera, or were you specifically looking to capture something, or what's the origin of how it got recorded?
No, the origin simply is, I've moved around. I've owned several homes. Every single home that I've owned got broken into.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so really it was solely security related. It had
Hmm.
nothing to do with trying to look for an orb or
Yeah.
anything like that. And so I had two cameras in the back of the house, one at above the slider, which is elevated, and the second one above a lower door. And periodically I would just go through and I would, click person, or you can click dog. It's a real link. I forget what the model is.
Okay.
And
Not Red Link,
but
Rio Link.
Rio Link, right?
Okay.
And they do a pretty good job because I have a net video recorder. They're PoE, power over internet cameras, and they do a pretty good job. And so, anyways,
So it's motion, is
periodically,
it motion sensitive? Is it
uh,
activating
I,
because of the
I
motion?
it does have that feature, but
Okay.
I don't have that turned on.
Okay. So it's
Like
just
because that no,
constantly
no,
recording.
continuously it
Oh,
overwrites
it's a,
itself every
oh,
7 days.
I see. Okay. So it's a continuous feed, and then you just happen to look to grab this footage, or what
Right.
made
If I
you
come
go
down
through
and
this?
want Right. If I come down and I'm watching a football game, I say, oh,
Huh?
I forgot I haven't looked at it in 4 days. So I look at it and it will give you little icons if there's activity.
Hmm.
And so you click through and okay, that's a bug, that's a dog, that's a
Yeah.
raccoon, or and then all of a sudden I see this big orb, and
Yeah.
I'm like, what's that? You know,
Yeah.
and
What did you
and
think when you first saw it? Like what, I mean, it's splitting in two like that is incredible. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and bring it up on the screen so that we
yeah,
can discuss it. I have them set up here. Let me just hit the one right here first. This is okay, so we're gonna go here. Now I'm gonna go full screen on this one. We'll make it big so everybody can see it. Okay, so can you see that, John?
I can, yep.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and hit play. So we got a little crickets in the background. I looked up the weather that day, and it was a hot day, almost 90 degrees, and temperature at about this time of the day was about 72, clear sky with 106% humidity. Just for a little background, I
Yeah.
looked that up. And so obviously here we've got the orb, and I'm going to stop it real quick because like if we go back, it comes from way off camera, right? So it's off camera, it kind of dips in, it's doing this like dipsy doodle, and then it finally gets to right here where I believe it's directly over that railing. And then, it continues to look like it's behaving like it's looking for something. Why don't you go ahead and t walk me through this other minute and a half that we have?
Okay, well, my theory, what we're about to see is a second orb on the right, and the second orb on the right, in my opinion, you can clearly see fingers holding the second orb on the right, and in my opinion, it's manipulating the orb that we presently see right now.
I see.
And to speculate, what it is, I really don't know. Uh, to suggest that it's a scanning device of some
Now,
sort,
right
I
here,
really don't know.
let me interrupt you right here because I want to dispel uh something right off the bat. Uh, when I was looking at some of the comments of people who looked at this orb right here, they're like, "Oh, it could clearly be manipulated, and this is over pixelated, and maybe somebody manipulated this." I'd like to put you on the record. Is this footage manipulated in any way, shape, or form?
No.
Okay. I agree with you. I don't believe it is, but I just wanted to get it directly from your mouth that it is, and I concur it is not manipulated in any way. And I find this fascinating because as this kind of cuts through the environment, you see that the camera is picking up this distortion. And
Oh,
and
stop right there.
yeah,
You see those, this is another thing that I don't really talk about, but you'll see these things running across the screen, that thing with
yeah.
four lights.
Mm-hmm.
That happens at least two or three times during the video. And that's, I think, related. I don't know what it is, but anyways, they're just an anomaly there.
Yeah, no, I noticed that as well. I see it come in a couple of times. One time it comes right over the back deck and comes onto the ground, and they look like they're transparent in a way. They don't look like a solid object to me. But now we get to the really exciting part in the video where this orb, to me, it looks like it splits into two. Is that your impression?
Uh, well, it already, right, but the one on the right that we're about to see has
Hmm.
fingers, which
Right.
would indicate that it's calling the left orb to come to it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I really
Well,
can't.
I do
You
see the
can,
fingers there. If we look right here, it looks like something's holding this orb. Now, I listen, I didn't know if maybe the orb itself is a transport device and then this orb came out of it with this creature, or if this creature is already there using the orb. I don't know because we don't know what's going on here. But you think that this entity, being, whatever it might be, clearly there's something here. I do see fingers. Uh, for me, when I first looked at it, I thought that it's maybe something like this holding it up with the fingers, and we're seeing it top down. So the head is in the background and the hand is up here, but the head is down below, not right up next to it. Is that your feeling, or how do you perceive that?
uh, I've looked at this a lot, and I cannot see a head. But if you frame by frame, you can definitely see there are some shots that show the fingers better,
Yeah,
and you can
like right
see
there.
it's yeah, yeah, and but I cannot really see the head. And sometimes I can see an arm, like an arm is a
Hmm.
forearm is reflecting back,
Hmm.
but something is holding that right thing, and it's not my next door neighbor. So you know,
Yeah, and then the dramatic aspect, the way, and this is in real time, how it just splits off and just shoots over there. And clearly, like right here, if I go back, right there, clearly it's inside of the fence, inside of the railing, because the railing is and below might be at or below the railing, but from this camera perspective looking down, clearly this object has some mass to it.
uh, I don't know. I don't know about that because it would have to go through the let's see, I don't know if it went through the
And oh,
railing or
there's that
not,
other
but
thing, that thing right here coming through.
right,
At
exactly,
first, I
yeah.
thought, is that a bat? But
Yeah,
I
I don't
don't
know
know.
what that
It
is.
also now this is infrared.
Right, it's pitch dark out when the
Yeah. So there's absolutely no light refraction going on here. This is infrared, and
or
what?
like right now you can see the fingers. You can see four fingers.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, we can.
And then
Yeah.
if we call that the left hand, you can see the right hand is it's like holding it from the top. So the right hand would be to the right of the on top of that existing hand,
Wow.
you know, in the next frames or so.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that little thing flying through the screen kind of takes your eye away from the orb. But if you just take a look at the orb and
Yeah, like right there.
yeah. Yeah, definitely we see some individual articulation coming through. It's really so fascinating. It's just fascinating footage. And we're coming to the end of this footage here. This is about the end of it. And then let's take a look
You know,
at oh go ahead.
I tried to share this. in the beginning when I first made this video,
Hmm.
I'm like, wow, I never posted. I'm not a social media type guy. I'm kind of private, but I felt the need to share this video, and I posted it online. I expected to get like 1 million views on YouTube, and I get like 10, you know.
Yeah.
And then so I started to go to chat rooms and
Yeah.
to
Reddit,
discuss it,
whatever. Yeah.
and right, Reddit and Substack and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And
Hmm.
everybody's an expert and they call it a spider. And I really don't buy that.
No, me neither. Me neither. Or a spider web or something like that. Yeah, no.
Right,
This to me has three-dimensionality to it. I don't think that this is a two-dimensional object. I think that this is a three-dimensional object. It definitely has some behavior that you cannot confuse with a spider web. In infrared, for example, this rapid side-to-side movement, the secondary object entity, somebody's fingers walking around, holding it, the dramatic departure of the object again. I don't think any of that is consistent with a two-dimensional spider web. This was a very
right,
low wind event day. There
right.
was
If
a,
you look right now, you'll notice that once the orb separates, the one on the left is spherical, the one on the
Mhm.
right is elliptical,
That's right.
indicating that we're looking at it from the side.
Right. Almost like
You
it
know,
looks
like
like a football. It looks like a football.
right, like it's a device. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's all fascinating to me. So
Oh yeah, it's absolutely fascinating. It's really I mean, and now I'm gonna go ahead and call up the other footage because some of the I think I don't want to sleep on the other footage, right? So this footage here is uh let's see, yeah, here it goes. Here it is here. This footage here is right beneath the deck that we just looked at. And this is
right,
about 4 hours later, that same
right.
night. Okay. And we're going to see a little bit of activity here, but this is just the screen maybe flapping in the wind. But I think the area that everybody needs to focus on when we're looking at this is this area right up here. Okay. And we're just going to play it.
I think the key point is you know regarding your video, where you were talking about that the alleged alien in the
Yeah.
backyard and all that stuff and the
Hmm.
cloaking.
Yeah.
People should be looking at the grass right now in this video
Yeah.
and notice how the grass fuzzes in and fuzzes out. And I'm suggesting that that might be something similar to what you had in your video.
Hmm. Oh, yeah. Right there. Right there. If we look right here, I'm gonna go back a little bit right there. So right there, underneath the 44924 Wednesday, right underneath that area, look at the grass right there. We've got good pixelization. You can see the individual grass. And then let's frame forward one, two, three, four, five. And right there. Look at that, John. That
Yeah.
whole area got blotted out. We'll go back. Here,
And
right there.
and like we were talking about before, the whole that where they plant the seed in like movies and stuff like that, with the
Mhm.
Predator movie
Yeah.
and the cloaking and all this stuff. Who knows, but
Yeah. Oh,
it's
wow.
just
That's
it's
fascinating.
incredible.
That's fascinating. And then, okay, so that's right there at 449, 27, 26, 25. At 449, 25, we clearly see the difference between pixelized and not pixelized. And that could be some kind of cloaking. Now let's follow that to how that might relate to the other things that we've got coming up. And then we've got a little bit of a reveal that we were working on before we got on this call that John gave me a nice tip to. And we're going to reveal that after we're done here. Now it just clicked again right there. Boom again, boom again. Pixel. Okay, let's keep playing. Right there. So now if you look at right under the Rio link, and if I go back, I don't see anything there. Now keep looking at the Rio link. I'm gonna hit play real time. Look at that. Whatever that is comes in. And now I hear something, John.
Maybe I should turn mine up here.
Yeah, let me go back. Because right when I see, so we've got the, wow, look at all the shadows going on here. Look at all that. Look at that big shadow and a
Yep.
light. You know, for a second I thought maybe if these were at the same time, we were catching what was going on underneath the orb, but this is 4 hours later. But we've got clear shadows and lights happening in the middle. And you sent me a picture of your backyard. This is a big open field. There's no lights back here.
No.
Right. And everything's dark. This is pitch black over here. You got no lights on. But yet we
Right.
see all these lights shining in the middle by your fire pit. And in the middle of the screen, we've got pixelization on the grass. And then we see this apparition show up under where it says real link. There it is. Pause. And there it is again.
Yep.
Okay. And I'm going to pause that there. And I'm going to stop the share. And I'm going to bring up another screenshot that we were able to capture thanks to your assistance here. Let's see. Do you see that, John?
I do.
Okay. Now, right here is a screenshot right underneath where it says Rio link under the N at a particular time, right where I stopped it in the video, where I was able to stop it, grab a screenshot. And I haven't manipulated this at all yet, but let's do this live on camera. And what I see here is I mean, and we've got all this texture
Yeah.
in here, there's all kinds of things happening here. And, you know, uh, I find it interesting. So, but I don't want to lead anybody. But what do you see here, John?
Well, when I was, I have the ability to do slow motion and to do freeze frames,
Hmm.
and because I was looking for something like this, because if you think of the apparitions alone, what are they? What are the orbs? They're definitely there. The
Yeah.
apparitions are there. So I slowed them down, and if you focus on the drawing, you
I was
can
just,
see.
yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. You can see kind of when a photo is taken of a human face, you can see the reflection of the white dot,
Hmm.
in the eyeball, and you can kind of see that in the pixelation on the screen, and that
Yeah.
could be the infrared light because the infrared lights on the cameras.
Yeah, let me bring that back
What
up. I think I closed it out too fast. I think let me bring that back because I think people are going to be interested in that. I know I'm certainly interested in it. I find it fascinating here. So what you're talking about here is like there's a I see
right?
us right there.
I'm saying that as the reflection of the infrared light, and
Yeah.
the big dark circles would be the eyeball, and
Yeah.
that the white in the center would be like between the two eyeballs, indicating there's two eyeballs. But again, this is again totally speculation, and
Now is
I'm
this
just looking.
is this kind of what you're looking at here? I'm seeing I mean,
That's a nose,
right,
right?
this
Exactly.
right here is like a nose.
Yep, that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, like right there. And
That's what
then,
I'm speculating. Well,
yeah, me
I'm not
too.
saying it looks like that, but
Well, I know. I'm just, I'm looking, I'm as I'm going through it, I'm just trying to follow the shape. And, I don't know what it is, but I'm looking at it, and then here, look at this. I mean, this clearly looks like a mouth to me. I don't know, but what,
it's just
how does
wild.
it make you feel if we got stuff like this walking around in our backyards?
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah, it's
you
just
know, my opinion, I can tell you it's not nothing, which is what a lot of
no.
people have told me. And I just tell them, yeah, I really don't buy that. It's, between the orb and the fingers, and the videos, I sent you two videos. I
Yeah.
probably have like 25 of them, and
Oh,
they all
keep sending
showed.
them. Let's break them down. I'll break them down in my time, and I'll share the results, and we can talk about them, as we go.
Yeah, these are probably the two of the best. I have another one that shows a big long finger holding
Yeah.
holding one of the orbs, and but uh, but the point is, it's not nothing. It has
No.
to be something, and
That
I'm
was
just searching for the truth. And
Yeah. That was my opinion
um,
on the Las Vegas case too, John. It was like, some people think they're extraterrestrials. I'm not of that opinion. I'm not sure that, and if you think about like how the government approaches the subject of extraterrestrials, they always say there's no evidence that they're from another planet or from outer space, but they don't ever rule out that they're from here and that maybe they've always been here and that maybe it's just something's happening maybe recently that is allowing it to be more seen. That's just a hypothesis, but whether it's a UAP, a non-human intelligence, whatever it is, but I come from, and I may be biased, but I come from a Christian perspective, and I tend to think that it's possible that these are maybe of the interdimensional spiritual realm, but possibly from here. I don't think that whatever they are, they're here to like hang out and watch football and eat an ice cream cone. I think maybe, they don't have such great motives, whatever they are. I don't want to plant any of my feelings into you, just hypothesizing here as intellectual, curious individuals. What is it that your hypothesis goes to?
I don't know. I don't believe in aliens from outer space. But there are so many things in history. The pyramids alone. There's underwater pyramids off the coast of Japan, off the coast of India, in China that nobody ever talks about. And all the ancient Baalbek and Göbekli Tepe and
Oh
all
yeah,
this stuff. And you know, these things, I think these things, whatever they are, have been here for a long time. There's stories of, the Native American Indians talking about the ant people.
yeah, the Hopi.
There's, yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's just so many of these things and stories. And, so I'm just trying to piece everything together. And, it's kind of like a hobby for me,
Yeah,
an adventure. I'm retired. I have enough time now. So I'm kind of
yeah.
if I'm not, kayaking, I'll be looking for orbs and,
Yeah, it
you
was
know,
funny. Somebody asked me recently, like, why do you try to, Scott, you're a crime scene expert. Why are you messing around with UFOs and things? And I'm like, well, because I'm getting too old to play baseball and I can't sing and dance.
right, right, yeah.
You
Well,
know?
it's, well, you have to, if you look at the videos, you have to, it's either real or it's not real.
Yeah,
Somebody at some point, everybody has to decide. And most of the people I come across, they don't want to believe it, and that's okay. They have the right to their opinion, and
yeah.
but
Well, I think,
I'm gonna.
it's interesting that I think whatever it is, it leaves enough wiggle room for people who are not ready to see it, acknowledge it, room to ignore it. It doesn't seem so obvious to the general pop that, if you're busy in your life and, and a lot of things are going on and you're busy paying bills and going to jobs and changing diapers, yeah, you're probably not going to be able to to focus enough to see it, right? But I think a lot of people have busy lives, busy minds, um, so many things that they just can't see it. And I think a lot of people are going to look at this and be like, I don't see anything. And some people are going to say, I see it, or people will give a just a very rude, they'll say it's a coyote. Uh,
It's somebody actually told me that.
that it's a coyote.
It's a coyote. I
It
said
wasn't
no,
Mick West, was it?
no, no. I forget who it was. So some chat room person, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I was actually having a conversation with my friend Jim Quirk about it, and he's like, "Oh, people are gonna say it's a spider web," and I'm like, "Listen, I've seen what those look like. This is not what that is. I've never, and to mention now, we don't have a whole lot of time left on my recording, about 8 minutes here, and we'll talk again if you'd love to. I'd love to have you back, but in that eight
sure,
minutes
yeah, absolutely.
let's talk about in your message that you sent me, and let me know if I don't want to get too personal, but you said that you had feelings of sleep paralysis and other things possibly that might be related to this, and interior you had visions or sightings of orbs or translucent orbs in your house. What are you would you like to comment about those experiences related to this? Or if it is
Uh,
related, I don't know.
well, I have no idea if it is related. I can tell you for a fact that I've had feelings, not many, a couple times, two or three
Hmm.
times, of a sleep paralysis with intense fear.
Okay.
So whether or not that's related, but I couldn't remember anything. All I knew is when I woke up is that I was afraid last night,
Oh, I
and
see.
I felt afraid, and that's about all I could remember. And I don't
So,
know if it's related or not. And regarding the floating orbs, there's different types. I call the ones that we saw on the video today, I call those energy orbs,
mhm.
and because they're bright, it looks like they're hot, or
Yeah.
I don't know if they are or not, but I also get floating orbs coming through the house,
Okay.
and where they just float, and sometimes they dart through, but they're translucent. They're not what we saw in the video. It's like they have a mind of their own, as
Mm.
opposed to these that I think are controlled by whatever that thing is with a hole in it.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. I've never had an experience like that. I think one time I might have an experience like that. I was in Los Angeles at Rancho Palos Verdes, off the rough cliff down there underneath the golf course. And it was late at night, and I thought I saw an airplane coming in landing, and then it came right at me, like right up to my face, and it was an orb, and I as it was coming I just got out of there. I ran. I didn't and it was the only time I've ever had any kind of an experience like that. I was just looking at airplanes coming in, and then this one came right at me, and it was just like an
Right,
orb.
right.
It came right at me and I got out of there, and that was about 15 maybe 12 years ago. So
But also all the stories that professionals, pilots,
mhm,
the reports that they see, they where they come right up to the airplane and they take
mhm,
off, and
yeah,
so
the Foo
this is
Fighters.
not the only video. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, I know.
I
Yeah,
think
I
it's a
mean,
real
orbs
thing.
are a well accepted, documented phenomenon.
Yeah, yeah. So
And you have more footage. I'm gonna hold you to that. Maybe you'll find me some more footage to share. And then also, I would love to have you come back, and because I know you're going to continue to look at and possibly get some more footage in the future too, right?
yeah, no, that's my plan. Now that I know that they're there. I kind of want to, I don't want to get too close, but I want to get if I can record anything, I certainly am going to do that.
Yeah.
I have I'm trying a couple different pairs of glasses with different lenses, and sometimes I'll sit out there and I'll just see if I can see anything, and that was not successful, but
Have you
we'll
heard? Do
see.
you remember the stories back in Vietnam? I've heard stories about in Vietnam where the helicopter pilots would wear the red glasses when flying through the jungle. And I was actually looking for a recipe to replicate it. And I saw it was on message boards and whatnot and so forth. And there were some theories that if you take 3D glasses, the blue and the red, and you combine them together, so you have a blue filter, red filter, and somehow put that as a lens on your camera, it could mimic those kinds of glasses. And I think that would be interesting as an engineer, which you are, if there would be a way to somehow duplicate that kind of technology for purposes of things like this.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. I have a pair of those glasses, and you know it was on it was like $200, but to me it's worth it to try to be able to see these things. You know, they were saying that these helicopter pilots were going nuts because they were seeing all these things flying around the helicopters,
Yeah,
and so, but I don't know if it was a a scam pair of glasses, but
yeah,
it does look like it's a different color
yeah.
on each, and it I think it blocks more red and it shows up more blue. And but yeah, I certainly can try that to put it on the one of the cameras.
Yeah, yeah. I think that would be a fascinating thing to try to engineer, and who better to do it than an actual engineer, would be to maybe I'll help you. I'll dive in, try to do some research because I thought that there was a particular chemical that the military used to combine, make it red, allowing the red spectrum particularly to come through the infrared. Because I think most infrared now is all blue.
Right. I want to say cyan, cyan
Yeah.
oxide or something. I forget something cyan,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Well, let's try. We got 2 minutes left, and I'll make a promise to you. I'm gonna do some research, see if we can't find a way to improve our ability to capture these. And I'd like to officially welcome you to the unofficial, loosely connected Society of Casual and Forensic Science and Paranormal UFO Research Group.
welcome. I'm just a retired guy in Rhode Island, so
We're gonna have to get an anagram for that loosely connected band of misfit interpreters. This is the way I like to do it because, like, on my channel, I have no advertisements. I don't do any of that. I do this for the love of trying to communicate with people. And I met you, John. Really a great pleasure to meet you. And
no,
thank you so much for coming on the show. I'll reach out and feel free to keep in touch. And I'm sure my subscribers are going to have a lot of questions for you.
right. No. Thank you very much. And it was your video that showed the cloaking that caused me to put some more focus into this, and so it's the whole thing is very interesting to me. So
And
thank you for having me on.
oh, absolutely my pleasure. And on behalf of John, I've been Scott, and I still love you, Planet Earth. Until next time, bye. And just a little addendum and a teaser for the next episode, possibly. This video footage here, John sent me after our interview, and this video is the following footage from the rear slider deck after that last video ended. He's going to continue to send me all of the videos on the back slider deck until these orbs leave. So enjoy. We'll see you next time.